Good morning, gang. Happy Saturday. Well, it's one of the best days of the year for me. It's the day I get to start plants. So I always enjoy this. This is always fun. Makes me think spring's coming. And when I was letting the dogs out this morning, I actually saw a robin in the yard. So not too bad for the end of January here. But target is some of these things start the 1st of February. Okay, I'm close enough as far as I'm concerned for doing it on a weekend, so that works for me. So I'm going to go through a few different plants that are planted this time of year. Everything's planted pretty much this time of year, but 1st of February, at least for me in Zone 6. Now, those of you who asked for my spreadsheet on when things to get done, obviously it's again in Zone 6, so you have to adjust the dates accordingly. So if you're after me, save the video for 2 weeks from now, or just remember what I showed you. We're not talking rocket science here. So, okay, so I'm going to go through a few of them. First one is sweet potatoes. Okay, now this is one of my sweet potatoes that I grew last year and saved it as a seed potato. I've got a couple more over here that I've already set up because I'm doing all my planting, but I'm not going to show you do the same thing 3 times. So sweet potatoes, in case you don't know, are not a potato at all. All right. So they don't grow like regular potatoes. When, regular potato you put in the ground, it sprouts its eyes and it grows from there. All right. Sweet potato, you have to grow sweet potato slips. Now, the slips would be little plants that come off the sweet potato. If you've ever gone to buy sweet potato slips, you know how expensive they are. They'll charge a couple of bucks per slip, which is absolutely insane because out of this one potato, I'll probably get a dozen or so slips. All right. So if you think this potato is worth 25 bucks, let me know. And I'll happily sell you a whole bunch of them at 25 bucks a piece. Okay. So to grow sweet potato slips is pretty simple. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can either put this in the ground like a regular potato, and then the plants that'll come up, then you dig up this whole thing and you take off the sweet potato slips. Or, because most of us don't live where it's warm enough outside to go put anything outside yet, we do it indoors. Okay. Now you can do it indoors in a pot if you want, sure, I suppose. Okay. What I found easier is to do it the way, like we all, when we were kids, learned how to grow avocados. You took the pit out and everything like that, you put it in. So you do the exact same thing. So what I've got here is just a little dollar store shish kebab stick or whatever you want to call it. Okay. So I'm just going to break it into 4 pieces. Real simple. You could probably use toothpicks for this. It's not that big, not big of a deal. You could use a stick out of the backyard for all I care. And what you're going to do is in about the center of the potato, you're going to stick the sticks in, and you will wind up with something like that. Okay. Now, easiest thing to do here. Red Solo cup, good for more than just draft beer. Okay. Fill your cup most of the way with water. You're going to take the potato fat end down, and you're going to stick it in your cup like that. So the fat end is sitting in the water. This will take a while. You're not going to plant your sweet potatoes till after your last frost, which for me is early May, all right, or late April, early May. So I figure I need a couple of months to get my slips going. And what you'll eventually have are little green stems growing up the side of your sweet potato. As they get bigger, when you're ready to plant, what you're going to do is break those little stems off, root and all. It'll kind of stick into the potato here. You'll have the stem up the top and the root down the bottom. You're going to break it off, and then that's what you're actually going to plant, and that's what you'll get sweet potatoes off. If you just stick the potato in the ground, you're going to get tons of slips. You'll never get a potato. So that's sweet potatoes. Easy enough on that one. Next one to plant, onions and anything in your allium family. Okay, so for me, I'm going to plant leeks, and I have Casper onions. This is what I've got. Reimer seeds. It's the only place I've got, the only onions, or the only seeds I've got from Reimer seeds. I bought them last year, so I bought a bunch of them. Now, leeks, scallions, anything like that doesn't make a difference. You know, any of them will grow fine wherever you are. Onions are very unique, and there's 3 types of onions. You have short day onions, intermediate day onions, and long day onions, okay? And it depends on where you live as to which ones you need to grow. If you're down south, say, you know, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, whatever, you're going to grow short day onions. If you're around me, okay, pretty much about the 35th parallel, you're going to grow intermediate day onions. If you're up north, you're going to grow long day onions. And that basically depends on, the reason for it is how much sunlight you're getting each day, okay? You need to grow the correct onions for your area, because if you don't, you're not going to get any onion bulbs. You know, or if you do, you're going to get real tiny ones, okay? Now, for me, there's all sorts of back and forth about intermediate day. Should you grow them, or should you grow long or short day or whatever? Personally, I don't worry about growing these 2-pound onions, okay? I'm not going for any competition or anything like that. I'm growing for me and Mrs. Pinball to eat them. And the normal size onions that you get in the store, those are good for us because 1 onion will make a meal. I don't need to be cutting an onion, throw half an onion in, stink up the whole refrigerator. So, you know, I grow them for the size appropriate for the 2 of us, okay, the size family we have. So onions are pretty simple, okay, but there are a couple of tricks to them. You do leeks the same as onions. Now, you can plant them in individual cells. I just kind of find it a waste of time, all right? So when I plant my onions, because if you think of an onion, you know, think of the onion you buy at the grocery store and those roots that are on the bottom. I mean, they're thick, all right? I mean, they look like a piece of wire, as opposed to, say, your tomato roots or your cucumber roots or whatever that are real fine, look like a piece of thread, okay? Onions you can separate real easy once they sprout, okay? So the whole thing is, and in this pack there are, does it even say how many are in here? 200, okay, there's 200 onion seeds. Now I'm not gonna plant them all, don't need that many onions, right? But I've got a pot, okay? Looks like it's about a 6-inch pot, all right? And I'm gonna plant this package of onions in this pot, real simple. I'm gonna try to move the camera here so y'all can see exactly what I'm doing. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this whole pack of onions and I'm gonna sprinkle them, not the whole pack because I'm not planting them all. But I'm gonna sprinkle about half of them. Get them over there. Anywhere in this pot, no big deal, okay? And I'm going to do the same with the leeks. There's 500 seeds in this leek package, so I certainly don't need that many leeks. We've eaten Chinese food till the cows come home. All right, but I'm going to do the same thing over in this one, and I'm just going to spread a bunch of these seeds out over the dirt, the soil. Now, I want to say something about the soil, too, if you guys see it here. This is the same soil that I made a few weeks ago. You know, out on the back porch, showed you how to mix the vermiculite with the peat moss and everything like that and make the soil. Told you to water it with boiling water. Brought mine indoors, okay? Then that whole big old bucket I made, okay? Brought it indoors. It's been sitting here in the kitchen just so it got to room temperature. In the 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it's still moist, not wet or anything like that, but it's still moist, which I want it to be. But when I opened it up, guess what? There weren't any fungus gnats. That's kind of the whole point, the reason by putting the boiling water in. There, now you can see me talking, okay, rather than just my mouth. Haha. Okay. So that's what we can do from there. So now, because of course I didn't set this part up, let me go over here. And I'm going to get myself a red Solo cup full of soil. And all I'm going to do is lightly cover the seeds on both of them with some soil, maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, or whatever it would be. Okay? And I'm going to get it all out here. Spread it around a little bit. And then just with my fingertips, kind of tamp it all down a little bit just so I've got some good soil to seed contact. I'm going to put my little popsicle sticks in each one of them so I know what I planted. And that will be that. And poof, in 3 minutes there, or whatever that took, I was able to plant all my onions and all my leeks for this coming season. And like I said, when time comes to put them out in the ground, those will be there. Oops, I forgot one part of this. It would help if I did the whole thing for you. Last part to onions and leeks. Okay. You want to, like I said, my soil's already damp, so you want to cover them with a piece of plastic wrap. Okay. And with my little stick there, I still have some oxygen that can get in there, so we're okay there. But you want to do that because you want a little bit of that greenhouse effect for your onions and leeks. Okay, you do not want to put onions and leeks on a heating pad. All you're going to do is fry them. So don't worry about something like that. So that covers onions and leeks. How to do that, or shallots, or chives, or whatever you're growing. Next one, strawberries. Okay, now I got these little cocoa core pots at Dollar General. I think they were a couple of bucks a piece, but they're great for growing strawberries because we just like to hang the planters on the front porch, and then I get this nice little cascading thing of vining strawberries. Okay, works out great. Don't eat a ton of strawberries. I can't have too many of them because they eventually give me an upset stomach, but I like to have some. So again, strawberries, very simple, pretty much the same as onions. And I'm just going to open this up, and we have Fresca strawberries. And I'm just going to open up my little package here. If you've ever seen how big strawberry seeds are, they are minuscule. You think onion seeds are small? Let's do strawberry seeds. Okay, so I'm trying to get this thing open here. Come on, package. There we go. So, you're not even going to be able to see that, I bet. But there's strawberry seeds, okay? And I'm just going to sprinkle these around in each pot. For strawberry seeds, I don't even need to add any dirt to it. I'm just going to move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm just going to lightly fluff the soil with my fingertips. That should be enough to get all my soil contact. Spread them around a little bit. And then after I've done all that, I will just tamp it down with the flat of my hand, the back of my hand, whatever's convenient. And poof, that pot of strawberries is done. So what have we been doing here? 15 minutes and we've already got 3 vegetables planted. Not too bad. All right, and so then the last one is peppers. Now, I know on my sheet I said start peppers mid-February. Okay. I'm going to try to start them a couple of weeks early this year because last year my peppers sucked. There I am. And I wanted to see if I can get a little bit stronger plants, pepper plants this year, so doing my peppers. So I am growing 3 types of peppers. I'm growing your regular bell peppers. Which ones do I have? I have Emerald Giant. I am growing Marconi sweet peppers. Those are the big, long sweet peppers. Some people call them lunchbox peppers. And then, of course, I'm growing pepperoncini just because, as all of you in Chicago know, you got to grow pepperoncini if you want to make giardiniera. So that is it. So we will do the bell peppers here. And again, you don't need me to see me do all three of them because obviously they all go in the same way. So let me do this. All right. So, and there it is. Okay. Now, pepper seeds aren't as tiny as everything else, but they're still small. So I've got a tray here of about, inch and a half, about an inch and a half, maybe 2-inch square cells, okay? And I am going to put 2 seeds in each cell. I'm just going to drop them on top. All right. Reason I put 2 seeds in is because we all know there's going to be some plants that don't germinate. And if I put 2 seeds in each cell, then I'm not losing any of the cells if something doesn't germinate. And I will thin them out, keep whichever is the stronger of the 2 plants in when I go to plant them. Because, I think I'm going to plant about 18 pepper plants, and in here I've got, 24. So even if some of this stuff doesn't grow, I'm still fine. I should have enough plants for me. So, all right. And I'm going to do half of them here, and then I will stop. So you don't need to see me for a minute doing all this. Okay. Well, here, I got a couple more left in my hand. Doink, doink, and doink, doink. All right. So there's all your pepper seeds in there. Now, real simple with pepper seeds, just push them down a little bit with your finger, okay? So you get them maybe about 1/4 of an inch deep down. And I'm just going to get them all there. And then we are going to do the same thing that we did with the onions. And just cover them with about 1/4 of an inch of dirt. So sprinkle it over a little bit. Don't want to forget where I stopped. And just make sure the seeds are all covered. You want a little bit tight soil. You don't want it packed, but you want it tight so the roots have something to grab onto as they go. But that is pretty much all there is to planting peppers. Like I said, the pepperoncinis, the Marconis are all going to be the same. And there will be that. Now, 2 things with peppers. You want some sort of cover over them, okay? Because peppers need warmth to germinate. The peppers won't germinate until the soil is about 75 to 80 degrees. And I will tip me back up here. There we go. Peppers won't germinate till temperature of the soil is about 75 to 80 degrees. Now, I don't know about anybody else. I don't keep my house that warm. I don't feel like paying the electric company $500 a month to warm my house. So with peppers, you get a little heat mat, okay? They sell them on Amazon. You can get them in a hardware store, a garden center, or whatever it is. They're probably about $25 a piece. The one I've got, I think, was $25 or whatever it was. It's 5 feet long by 2 feet wide. So, a tray like this, you can see it's a 1 foot by 2 foot tray. I can get 5 on there easy. And, so I can do all my peppers. And then, like I mentioned in one other video too, you also do eggplants with heated trays. But that's it. Pretty simple to get things started. But, there's 4 vegetables we just planted, 3 vegetables and a fruit, in 20 minutes. So have fun gardening, guys. It's time to get started. And we will be doing more as things go, but I need to get all this stuff just slightly moistened with a little spray bottle, and they go under the grow lights. And I will show you that here. You already saw my grow lights, so I'll show you that setup here probably in a few days once I get everything put together. Have a good one, y'all. Enjoy your Saturday. Go plant something. All right, take care. Pinball out.